Hey everyone, it's Wow Me Wednesday. Thank you for being here with me. My friend Lynn has a 4-hour seminar coming up. So she asked me for some tips on how to make the seminar, how to facilitate it, how to make it smooth and engaging while incorporating breaks and keeping it interesting for the audience. So this is for you, Lynn, and anyone else who has a presentation or workshop that's maybe about 1 to 4 hours long. So first up, you provide a rundown or a schedule either on a slide behind you or on a piece of paper so that you can set expectations for your audience and they can see, okay, the first hour you're going to be presenting about this topic, second hour you're going to have activities, third hour you'll have breakout sessions, this is when the breaks happen, etc. Set those expectations right away so they have an idea when they can take a bathroom break or maybe make a phone call. Also, part of that introduction, you also want to set those boundaries and ground rules. Do you want to allow people to get up freely and go to the bathroom if they need to? If there's a phone call, tell them to please take it outside. Do you want them to be able to ask questions throughout the presentation or wait for the designated Q&A period? Tip number 2 is to use slides or props. Because it is such a long presentation or seminar, any kind of engagement that will stimulate your audience besides just your voice is going to help. So have some slides that are visual, hopefully photos, more so images like I like to use. If you want to check out my Wow Me Wednesday video from 2 weeks ago, I have some tips on slides, what to include in your slides. And also, bring props too. If you can show something that you use, demonstrate, have people touch it and feel it. Maybe they're more sensory learners, so that's a good way to engage them. The third tip is notes. For such a long presentation, how are you going to remember it, right? Or how are you going to be able to continue without messing up? Well, first of all, you want to, because it is so long, try to keep it casual and conversational so that you don't feel like you have to memorize and perform your presentation. But notes are perfectly okay. I oftentimes have notes that are printed on an 8.5 by 11 and I have it on a table off to the side. And sometimes I'll wander over because I'm pacing the room, working the crowd, and we'll check out my notes when I have a chance. One of my clients in the past had a presentation that was about an hour long, so she did use note cards. And instead of gripping them like this, I advised her to hold them in one hand casually and refer to them when she needed to. And she really did need to because she knew it so well. So know your presentation, know your seminar well enough so that you don't have to rely on your notes, but can turn to them here and there when you need to. The fourth tip is to include breakout sessions and activities. That way you're getting people up and moving and active, and it's not just you talking to them the whole time. So when I give a 3-hour workshop or so, I oftentimes will break up my group into 2. And if my presentation is on giving presentations as well as interviews with the media, then one group will be working on a presentation and I could give them a topic, or maybe it's a topic that an actual presentation they're working on for the future. And the other half will be working on a simulated interview with a reporter that I would give them. And then they swap. So about 30 to 45 minutes or so, they'll work on it. I get to roam around, work with the different groups. Ideally, you'll have maybe one or two other people to help you to roam around and work with the different individuals or the 2 separate groups, and then they swap positions so they can try both things. Activities too. That's breakout sessions, activities, getting them moving. Lynn, I know, is incorporating yoga in her seminar, so obviously that's very physical, gets them moving, so great idea to incorporate activities. The 5th tip when it comes to engaging your audience, when it comes to longer workshops and seminars, are to play video examples. And I always use video examples for my longer presentations because I'll make a point, I'll play a video from a TED Talk or maybe a Toastmasters champion to demonstrate my point when it comes to public speaking with confidence. So not only does the example help prove my point, but it also gives me a break from speaking so I can take a sip of water, so I can review my notes and figure out what's coming next. So it's a little cheat right there. Tip number 6 is to incorporate questions and answers. I like to allow my audience to raise their hand if they have questions throughout my presentation. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, then definitely maybe at the end of each hour, open it up to Q&A, or at the end of every theme, open it up to Q&A where it feels natural. But for me, I like to keep it conversational. So let your audience members ask you a question when it comes up in your presentation and address it on the spot. If it's not related, then, or you're going to address it later on, you could always say, okay, I'll be talking about that in the next hour. And then the last tip, the 7th tip, when it comes to running a smooth and engaging longer seminar, is to build in breaks. If it's 4 hours, maybe you build in a 15-minute, 20-minute break at the halfway point. But also, obviously, allow your audience members to use the bathroom if they need to throughout the workshop. So I hope this was helpful for you, Lynn, and anyone else that has a longer seminar or workshop coming up. And I really appreciated your suggestion, Lynn. So just like her, please comment below on any suggestions you have. Maybe you have a presentation or an interview coming up. What do you want to know? What do you want to hear from me for future Wow Me Wednesdays? And you can always connect with me by emailing me at jessica@jessicachenconsulting.com as well. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.